Welcome, Leaf fans. It's a tough game. First episode after a loss. That's why me and my good friend Mike here, we're drinking the Coronas. Wish we could be cheersing to a win right now, but it is what it is. It's okay. We can go back and beat him in Toronto, so it's okay. So first thing tonight, obviously, Leafs lose in OT. Good game. Leafs played hard, but you know what? There's a couple things that they definitely could have done better for sure. You get a power play, a 4-minute power play in the end of the game there. You don't have Tavares for it. He's out. And they look slow. Did they not for that power play? I mean, goddamn. Like, the passing was slow. The chemistry wasn't there. I mean, Matthews hits a post, but overall, like, what did you see on that, man?
Wonder what? Honestly, in a power play unit, I didn't see enough of Marner pulling his weight. Yeah. I was expecting a lot more between the Marner-Matthews duo on the ice. They really could have done a lot more shooting. Honestly, keep the puck at your fucking end. Yeah. Ottawa had too many opportunities to send it back.
No, for sure. Especially, too, like, they had him down low in the battles and whatnot, but too many times during that power play, the puck went all the way down to the ice, and they had to regroup. And then sometimes for the power play, they're shooting it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not getting the power play focus in the center's end. They're always having to regroup. So that was obviously pretty tough tonight. Stolarz, again, he looked good tonight. A couple goals, though. I will say the breakaway goal squeaks through him. You know, you can't do too much on that because it's a breakaway. The overtime goal, of course, a little bit of a flub shot from the point. Doesn't see it, goes over the glove and in. You know, not much you can do for that, but, you know, the Leafs got to get the puck out more. You know, it was literally right on the blue line there, which was tough. You need more man-to-man coverage. That's the problem here.
One thing I could say, Nyes, wonder what? Stellar game for Nyes.
Yeah, stellar game for Nyes.
I will say stellar game for Nyes.
Yes.
Cheers to Nyes.
Cheers to Nyes. Fucking A. But I will say, though, after, just to add on to what you were saying there, after his goal, which was fantastic, by the way, good for him, I didn't see him much after that goal. He seemed to fade away into the night. I don't know what that was or why that seemed to happen, but after that goal, you thought he was going to be coming out like a rocket, and he just sort of, you know...
died off.
Yeah, died off into the night. What the hell was that?
For a forward his size, he really should be playing the boards a lot more.
Yeah.
He had a good game, but for a guy his size, the Leafs should be playing the boards a lot more with him.
Yeah.
The Leafs had a good game. Nobody's going to take that away from them.
Of course.
They put bodies in front of the net, but you really got to move your plays around.
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't have put Domi in the position he was.
Yeah, you know, it's weird too because like Domi's been up and down the lineup a lot. So when it comes to putting him in the lineup, if he's hot, you put him up a little bit. If he's hot, right, you know what I'm saying? You put him up, but he's not been though. Besides that overtime goal, he's just hasn't won the battles he had to. He hasn't made the passes that he's needed to. So I understand why Berube put him down, but you know tonight was not a good night for him, unfortunately.
Domi's definitely an aggressor. He's definitely plays like his father. He puts the fight into the game. He does the push.
Yeah.
I wish I seen a little more of our forwards. Yeah. I wanted to see more of Nylander. Where was Marner during the regular time?
Yeah, Marner was pretty absent tonight, honestly. When you look at the whole game, there wasn't many points when he had the puck on his stick or any really great chances. I feel like they kind of boxed him out a lot tonight, you know what I mean? And that's sort of been the problem in previous series is Matthews and Marner, and mainly the core four in general, has always sort of been boxed out to the outside. They don't get any free ice. They don't get any points. With that being said, Nylander, after the last game, which he looked absolutely disgusting, he came back tonight. He looked better. I think he even scored a goal, actually. I'm not sure if that was tipped, but he looked good.
It was Nylander to Tavares.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Excuse me.
Nylander to Tavares.
Yeah.
Cheers to them.
Yeah, cheers to them. All right. And so besides that, we all knew the Senators were going to come out and give the Leafs everything they could possibly give them for this game. And after being down, 2-1 in the first period, you can't complain. The Leafs held on well, and then they tie it up. And eventually it goes to 3-3. So, good effort by the boys tonight. I think, you got it. You don't have to give Ottawa one, but they won one tonight. That's okay. We'll go back to Toronto. We'll finish it off, hopefully. But, it's a sad night. I was hoping to get the brooms out tonight so we could sweep away the Sens, but you know what? That's just how it goes. As a Leaf fan, we're hardened to this. We know how it goes, right? I mean,
hey,
that's why you got Coronas in the hand tonight.
Hey, we're in for the heartbreak. That's
exactly.
What we're here for.
That's why we're here.
Up or down, man, you can't break my spirit.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Especially one other good talking point tonight too, and I don't know what you saw in this play either, was Domi. I mean, the Leafs have been pretty measured in this series in terms of taking penalties tonight, during the whole series. And Domi tonight with a completely, unnecessary penalty to punch the guy in the face off the face-off, giving the Senators a great chance. And they scored on that too.
Well, top of your stick to do that in front of the ref off of the face-off, that was completely unwarranted.
Yeah.
It was just that didn't have to happen.
No, exactly, and that's what the probably Berube is talking about too, in the intermissions and whatnot, of not taking unjustified penalties. You do not need to do stuff like that to give the Senators a chance.
I understand taking a sneaky hit here and there, but off of the face-off before puck drop.
Yeah. When nobody's even playing, you can clearly see it.
Nobody's playing.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous.
It was unwarranted. Like I said, I am not taking anything away from Max Domi because he is definitely an aggressor.
Yeah.
He plays like his father, but he wants to be more of a forward.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be just a scrapper, and I completely understand that.
Of course, yeah.
But you gotta have some more...
a little more grit, a little more finesse, you know what I mean?
A little more finesse.
Yeah.
Not more grit. Ty Domi had the grit.
No, fair enough.
He had the balls. He had the fighting. He had, he was a fucking powerful force on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Max Domi wants to be a player. But you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, no, for
sure.
Know? So other than that, you have any other points for the game tonight? You saw?
No, all I say is, a good game for the boys.
Yeah, good game for the boys. Cheers to the boys tonight. They tried hard.
They tried hard.
One shot away. I mean, Matthews hits the post in overtime. Very close. Could have gone either way. I don't necessarily expect the Leafs to win 3 overtimes in a row. You know what? It's okay. We still got 3 more chances. Hopefully this won't be like the Montreal series.
Stoley the goalie.
Stoller power.
To Stoller power.
Yeah, Stoller power.
Stoley the goalie held his own tonight.
He did.
Want to know what? Let in a couple sneaky goals. That breakaway goal, it happens.
Yeah.
Want to know what? That guy has held his own. This is the first in 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The first in 11 games. He has held his own. The Leafs have had bodies in front of him, and he's taking it to the chin.
Well, that's another good question, too, while we're here. Is Stolarz has won previous to this game. I think it was 11 straight. So, going into Game 5 now, would you switch to Wall? Because... Wall is great. He's been good too. The Leafs have a great tandem going. Would you switch to Wall for Game 5?
I wouldn't have. I would have left it as Stoley because through the regular season, I feel Wall has been too streaky. The Leafs have had during the regular season. The Leafs, yes, they did well during the regular season.
Of course,
they made it to the playoffs. With Stoley out, they had a really streaky time.
Yeah. But for Game 5 coming up, you wouldn't put Wall in?
No. I wouldn't have pulled Stolarz because you do have to believe in your goalie.
No, I agree with that too. But I also think, how long do you want to have Wall sitting on the bench before he gets cold? You know what I'm saying? There's a certain point at which you do want to put him in. I think that's a Game 6-7 decision. If they lose Game 5, then you go to the Wall card. But for now, again, Stolarz did not have a bad game tonight. So I would keep him in for game 5, but I think we should be on the wall watch because I think eventually in this series he will get in, depending how Stolarz plays in game 5.
Definitely after tonight, the Leafs are going to think about putting Wall in.
Mm-hmm.
And it has nothing to do with Stolar's performance because he's been a stellar goalie. I do feel like being the giant goalie he is, the 5-hole is kind of a hard spot not to hit.
Of course. Yeah, no, I feel that too. So, I mean, it's really just how game 5 plays out, right? So, we'll see how that goes. But if that's it for you, that's it for me. We're Leaf fans. We don't condone drinking, but after they lose, you got to have a couple brewskis, right? I mean, that's how it is. So, anyways, if you tune into the show and you watch it, we really appreciate you. And if you don't, well, you should be fucking watching it, all right? So, cheers, all right? See you next game.